All right, let's dive right in. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're investigating that flashy, cash-filled world of TikTok live giveaways to reveal what's actually going on behind the screen. You've probably seen them while scrolling, right? Hosts just surrounded by massive stacks of bills, promising huge payouts or the absolute newest iPhone, and all you have to do is send a quick digital gift to their stream. But is it actually a giveaway? Or are we looking at a carefully engineered financial trap?
I want to kick things off by directly challenging our most basic assumptions about generosity on social media. There's this hard-hitting insight from a recent report by Semvan Skila Labs and Research that hits the nail on the head. The moment you must pay for a free prize, you are no longer the winner. You are the revenue. We all naturally assume a giveaway means someone is, well, freely giving something away. But when that so-called generosity requires you to open up your digital wallet first, the entire dynamic completely shifts.
Section 1. The Big Reveal. The Gift-to-Prize Inversion.
We're going to treat this like a full-on investigative expose, pulling back the curtain on the central economic reality that these live streams are hiding right in plain sight. They rely on this brilliant yet deceptive illusion that completely flips the script on what we think is happening. Researchers call this the gift-to-prize inversion. It's essentially a mechanism where you, the viewer, pay immediate visible value while the host promises future, conditional, and totally unverifiable value. You think you're just sending a tiny digital gift to unlock this massive reward, but in reality, the apparent giver, the host, actually becomes the receiver of your money.
This completely exposes the stark asymmetry of the whole transaction. Think about your reality as the viewer. You buy TikTok coins, you convert them into gifts, and you send them off. Your payment is verifiable, and it literally happens in an instant. But on the flip side, the host's reality, all they provide is a conditional, delayed, and entirely unverifiable promise of a future prize. Your payment is a confirmed fact, but their prize might just be an elaborate performance.
Moving on to Section 2. The Playbook. The 5-stage gift-gated giveaway loop.
Let's crack open the perpetrator's playbook to see exactly how they pull this off. We're going to expose how this trap is methodically set up to drain digital wallets step by step. Here is the entire loop. Stage 1, perform abundance. Stage 2, activate a personal need. Stage 3, convert participation into a payment. Stage 4, escalate the situation publicly. And finally, Stage 5, keep the outcome completely unauditable. We're going to walk through this entire loop to see how a host goes from flashing cash on camera to trapping viewers in an endless cycle of giving.
So step 1, it always starts with performing abundance. The host is showing off massive quantities of cash, luxury clothes, expensive electronics, you name it. This creates what researchers call synthetic authority. You see all that wealth and your brain just silently concludes, well, because this person must be capable of rewarding me. Because of that visual trick, you stop asking why a supposedly wealthy host desperately needs your $2 digital gift, and you actually start believing they can genuinely help you out.
Next, they ask what you need. Maybe it's rent money or some cash for your family. Boom, they've activated a personal desire. Then they move you down this deliberate escalation pathway. First, they just ask for a simple comment. No big deal, right? Then a follow. Then, just tap the screen to show some support. And then finally, they ask you to send a gift. The trap starts with these small, totally harmless, non-financial actions that slowly convert a casual observer into an active, paying participant. This brings us to a really crucial point. Stage 4, public escalation. The host starts rolling out leaderboards, flashing huge gift animations, shouting out usernames left and right. They weaponize social proof. Suddenly, larger gifts get much louder recognition. At this stage, you're no longer rationally evaluating the offer. You are actively competing for the host's attention. It turns a supposed giveaway of free money into this fierce, emotionally charged bidding war between everyday viewers.
Which brings us right to the end of the loop, and it begs one absolutely vital question. Can someone independently verify the winner? Like, who actually won the money? Was a prize ever even delivered? If those questions can't be answered outside the creator's own stream, you simply don't have verification. You are blindly trusting the exact same person who just financially benefited from the promotion. You know, the person who literally just took your money.
Section 3, the mind game, hacking ordinary human needs. Now, you might be watching this thinking to yourself, come on, I'd never fall for that. But honestly, why do smart, rational people fall for this exact loop every single day? The truth is, this mechanism doesn't depend on foolishness at all. It targets ordinary human desperation and our deep need for community and relief. Look at these psychological levers they're pulling. Hope.
When you're stressed about bills, you don't evaluate a $10,000 prize logically, you just see immediate financial relief. Recognition. Your gift buys you status and the host's attention. Social proof. You see the crowd tipping, so hey, you trust the crowd. Sunk cost. After sending one gift, you justify it to yourself by sending another. And variable reward. That intoxicating feeling that your very next gift is absolutely going to be the winning one.
You really have to understand the cold, calculated math behind this operation. The system does not need everyone to believe. It just needs enough viewers to keep hoping. If there are thousands of people watching a live stream, the creator doesn't have to convince every single one of them. It only takes a tiny, desperate fraction of the audience sending gifts to turn a massive, massive profit for the host.
And look, this psychological architecture, it's incredibly effective across totally different formats. Take a look at this recent 2026 investigation by Wired into TikTok Shop surprise sets. On one side, hosts were prominently displaying expensive electronics to draw people in. But on the other side, we see the harsh reality. Viewers paid high bids, sometimes around $150, but instead of scoring iPhones, the winners only received low-value plush toys and cheap little accessories. The sheer possibility of winning completely blinded them to the absolute certainty that they were spending real money.
So what do regulators actually have to say about all this? Well, let's bring in the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. They have a crystal clear rule on consumer protection. If you must pay to receive a prize, it is a scam. If paying increases your chances of winning, it is a scam. Legitimate sweepstakes are entirely free and based purely on chance. Wrapping this whole transaction up in a shiny digital package and calling it a gift doesn't change the underlying economic reality. It's fraud.
Section 4. The Defense Protocol. The 5-question free giveaway test.
Let's arm you with a rapid-fire checklist. You can use this to evaluate literally any live stream instantly, way before you ever send a gift or spend a single dime. Here's your first diagnostic question. Can I enter without paying? If you cannot participate without sending a gift, then it's not meaningfully free. A requirement to pay means it is an entry fee, plain and simple. It's not a giveaway.
Question 2. Are the complete rules visible before I even participate? The prize itself, the eligibility requirements, the deadline, all of it should be totally clear. Real sweepstakes don't randomly change eligibility rules or conveniently extend deadlines halfway through a broadcast just to milk a few more gifts out of the audience.
Question 3. Does sending more improve my chances? Remember exactly what the FTC said. If greater spending buys you better eligibility, some fake VIP status, or supposed priority, then the gift is really just a disguised financial transaction for a service.
Question 4. Can the winner actually be independently verified? Like, is there actual hard proof that the money went where it was supposed to go? Because a host just shouting a username into a microphone and doing a little celebration dance guarantees absolutely nothing.
And we wrap up the test with question 5. Is the prize documented outside the creator's own performance? The person actively collecting your cash should never, ever be the only source verifying its legitimacy. If they are, that's just self-certification. It's not independent proof.
So, how do we actually apply this in the wild? It's pretty simple. One failed question may justify caution, but several failures. That reveals a structure. When multiple red flags start popping up from this test, you're not just looking at some chaotic, unorganized livestream. You are looking at a deliberate, highly monetized architecture that was custom-built to take your money.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought today. If you must pay to access generosity, it is not generosity. Always follow the money. If the host's wealth is just an on-screen performance and the only confirmed verified transaction happening is your hard-earned money leaving your account, then they were never really giving anything away in the first place. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely stay vigilant out there.